guys. Welcome back, everybody. Oh, what a joy it's been over the last few days with crypto. I mean, this thing is, if you blink, it will change completely. I mean, that's how quick the crypto space changes. It's amazing. Um, I guess it depends on what your version of fun is, but it can be fun. But it can also be the cause of concern, and for a lot of people to be rocking backwards and forwards in a fetal position, losing their shit. But anyways, so we're here to talk about Saitama. Now, yes, I was a bit slightly not negative, but I was painting a realistic picture in my last video or two. This one is really just to give everyone an update as to what is going on with Saitama, and let's just kind of zoom out and see the entire picture first before we kind of move forward, so we can all understand, what the future might look like. So I'm not a financial analyst or advisor, but this is just purely for educational purposes. It's my own personal opinions. Don't go throwing all your money into it, but let's crack on. So, firstly, let's look at the BTC USDD charts. So, just to get a comparison as to what the rest of the market is doing, I think that's critically important for us to gauge where we're at with the entire space first before we can make an educated guess as to what Saitama is doing. So, a lot of what happens with the Saitama price isn't just to do with the Saitama mask release shenanigans from a week ago. It's not just to do with the Willie D FUD yesterday that was on Coinbase, or CoinMarketCap, I should say. Sorry. I mean, that did play a part in it and may have sped up the process and may have contributed to a sharper dip. But there is overall an entire market dip that we're going through at the moment. So on the screen right now, you've got the Bitcoin USDD charts. If we have a quick look at that, just to kind of understand, we can see that Bitcoin has been dumping since its all-time high, which was around about there. So we're looking at the all-time high back on the 10th of November, where it reached, what was that, 69k, close to 70k. I think it may have actually touched 70k at one point. That's what Bitcoin is looking like. We've been dumping ever since. A lot is just whale games, really. A lot of it is whale games, trying to cash in on some profits, and also to try and lower the price so they can get in lower or help their mates get in lower. We also have to look at the Bollinger Band. So we've touched the Bollinger Band top over here, seen a massive dip again. We've then kind of touched this is on the 4-hour chart, guys, so just bear with me. So on the 4-hour chart, we've then touched the lower end of the Bollinger Band here. We've kind of jumped off that, bounced. We've now touched it again. We're seeing another bounce on the Bitcoin chart. Okay, so now remember this pattern. So we've touched the top here, done a dump, bounced up again, touched the bottom, done a jump, touched the top, dump, jump, dump, and now we're doing a jump. All right. If you combine that with the RSI for Bitcoin, you can also see on the 4-hour chart it's dipped below this median here. So we're actually oversold now on the Bitcoin chart. So the RSI is telling us, oh shit, you're massively undersold. We've touched the bottom of the Bollinger Band on the 4-hour. We're at a huge support here of 55k for Bitcoin. Okay, and you might be thinking, why is he talking about Bitcoin? But it is important to understand what Bitcoin's doing, as you probably already know. If you don't know, the rest of the market tends to follow Bitcoin. Bitcoin is king, and you can tell yourself as many times as you like that Saitama's its own and does its own thing, but it more than half the time it doesn't. It is following the Bitcoin chart. So if you can understand where Bitcoin is, we are now looking like maybe doing a reversal potentially. There's a lot of speculation that Bitcoin is going to reverse either tomorrow or the day after, potentially, maybe even today. We don't know. And we're looking like the MACD. I mean, it looked like it was going to flip there, but it never did. And it looks like it's going to flip here again. We can see the volume is slowly reversing as well. So we're not seeing as many sell orders. We're seeing more buy orders come in because it is a really attractive price for Bitcoin at the moment. So keeping that in mind, keeping the pattern here. I mean, have a look at this pattern. So we're down, up, down, up, down. Okay, now if we switch to the Saitama versus USD, alright, let's just bear with me. Okay, so this is now Saitama. Ignoring this big green dildo up here and this big red dump. Ignoring that, we've obviously dropped out of this channel, and I did predict that we would need to hit the 716 level, which is this purple box I drew out. If you look back here, so there's the 786. Did I say 716? I meant 786. The 786 level here. I've been saying for 2 weeks that Saitama is red hot. It is needing to hit the 786 before we can see a pump or another jump, a leg up, purely because there isn't going to be many retail investors that are willing to buy at these prices when they see that it was there. You know, we're looking at the 20th of October. It was worth like pretty much nothing, and then what? 13 days later, whatever it is, we're now up here, and we've seen what's that? From here to there is a 370% jump. Not very attractive for investors, retail investors, to jump in at those sorts of prices, even though it is still worth nothing, relatively cheap. It doesn't make much sense jumping in at the top. So I've always been saying we need to see it dip down below these levels, this consolidation bit here, and back down to some sort of normal stable price. This is a good entry level. So we've done just that, and it's bang on. It couldn't be any more perfect. So looking at that pretty much mimics the Bitcoin chart. We're seeing the drop, pump, drop, pump, and now we're seeing a drop. Sorry, and now we're seeing a bit of a reversal going on here. So I'm not saying that you should go and sell your house and put everything into Saitama now, because now's a good time. But I'm saying that the 786 level is the level that I would say it needed to hit, and it's the level that I would actually buy some more in at this point, because this is a good entry point for me, because it just makes sense, and it's a fair price to pay, and it's what the charts are telling me. Basically, the charts are telling me that this is the level that is a good entry point, the 786. If we were to lose this support, which is this level here, you've got this bottom here and this bottom here, all this bottom here, this top, this support level, as we call it, is why it's holding really tight there, which is the 786. If we lose that support, we're going to roll further down. So we're going to see a roll probably down to this level here, this little consolidation support level here. You would expect it to hit back down there, which is the 32150 price. So it's another 50% drop from where we are now. So if we kind of measure from here to there, around 60% drop, roughly. 50 to 60% drop we could see from further if we lose the support here. But we are looking like we are hopefully doing a reversal. Don't know if you can see this chart down here very well. Don't know why it's gone all weird on me like this. But the RSI is also down to massively oversold at the moment as well. So we're looking at like it's reversing as well on the RSI. It looks like retail investors are probably selling out, and the whales are probably buying in at this point, is what I'd be assuming is going on, because we're seeing a downward trend on the RSI. We're seeing volume slowly turning green, very, very slowly turning green in there. So it looks like money's flowing back into Saitama. And I mean, just as we're watching the candle, the green candle's getting bigger. So on the 4 hour. So that's where we're at. Where do we go from here? Well, we could go many places, depending again on what Bitcoin does and what Saitama decides to do with the release of Saitamask. It could really influence that chart. But from here, we're looking like, I mean, if we were to kind of map out roughly where we could go, let's have a look. So let's go from here to say there, and the lowest low about there. We could see 618 level around about here. So we're looking at the next jump, the leg up could be to the 128830 level. So that's let me just draw a little box so you guys can see rectangle. So we're looking like the next leg up could be actually this way. Could be up here. So let me just delete this to clear this up, all this mess and noise we don't need. I'm gonna leave this channel here, these purple channels, maybe just so we can see later on if it does climb back into the channels or not. Might need to change the color of them. It's a bit strong. It's a bit strong, isn't it? Might just change that. Yeah, it's better. Look. Right, so this would actually, I mean, the pattern is there. It's telling us that it's what it should be doing. Whether it does it or not is, it's, you know, totally different question. But we could hopefully see this sort of go up, probably bounce off this consolidation and this consolidation here, probably bounce off that, and then trickle back down again, and bounce off the channel, back into this consolidation slash act as support, and then we could hopefully see it do something like this, and I'd imagine this up here would be another support level, so it would probably bounce off that, which would really play into, you know, this purple box here. If you imagine the purple box is there, the 618786 level, we would probably bounce off that. We'd probably touch that purple box and then maybe dip down again further into the support, because this is going to act as a resistance. So we'd dip back into the support level, which would also be the top of this area here. Dip back into that and maybe see a bounce to this level again, to this channel, the top of that level, bounce, and then we really need to push through that, which would be the all-time high, which is going to act like a really strong resistance level for us to get through. So yeah, I mean that's kind of like what I think is going to happen. I'm not, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't have a crystal ball. It's just what the fibs are telling me and what the charts are saying might happen. So yeah, I mean hopefully that helps you guys out. I still wouldn't be panicking. I'm not panicking at all. I'm holding quite a bit of Saitama, probably not as much as some of you guys. I got in quite, I wouldn't say late, but I got in maybe a month ago, and I haven't really been buying the dip, only because I've been putting my money elsewhere into other projects that I've got going, just so you guys know. I mean, I want to be transparent. But yeah, I am invested in Saitama. I do want it to go up. I still think it's got a few problems, a few nitty-gritty things with the people running it. I think they really need to, I mean, they are trying, but I think they need to up their game and start, maybe looking at what sort of posts they're putting out and what sort of image they're giving off, and whether or not it's professional enough for some retail investors to get into. It's not everyone's cup of tea. Yeah, anyway, that's what I've got. That's all I got. Yeah, take care, stay focused on the game, and we'll chat later on. Bye for now.